Kia ora. I'm Ellen and I am a talent acquisition specialist at Inland Revenue. I'm here today with Sherry, a graduate from the Ethnic Communities graduate program, who's also in the talent team working with me on some early in career work. And our kind of purpose of our early in career program is to bring on some good quality candidates, interns and graduates into IR each year. And we're here with Jordan, who's an analyst in our platform engineering team. So Jordan interned at IR through TupuToa in 2020 and is now in a permanent role in IR. So we'll hear from them a little bit later on their experience. So I'll just pass over to Sherry to talk a little bit about what IR does.
Here everyone, I am Sherry, and as Ellen previously mentioned, I am a graduate through the Ministry of Ethnic Communities graduate program, and I'm currently based with the Talent and Analytics team. I'll quickly provide you with a brief outlook of what we do. So Inland Revenue collects about 80% of the Crown's revenue, as well as collecting and dispersing support program payments. We do provide government with policy advice as well. An interesting fact is that IR is not just tax. When I started, to be very honest, I thought it was all about GST and returns, but there are various other business groups one can go into. That being said, if you are interested in tax, please come work with us. Some of our popular graduate roles are in policy, human resources, and finance. Back to you, Ellen.
Cool, thank you. So we were just going to run through, why work with IR and go through some of the reasons that we personally love about working with IR. So at Inland Revenue, we are committed to creating a safe and inclusive workplace where everyone can achieve their full potential and where people and customers feel valued and respected and can see themselves reflected in all that we do. So we do have a clear diversity and inclusion strategy, which includes things such as increasing our diversity, being whānau friendly, and our gender and ethnic action plan. I also just wanted to touch on Mahutonga, which is IR's strategic approach to weaving the Te Treaty, Waitangi and Māori concepts and practices into IR. So a few ways that we're doing this is with a Māori language plan, a Māori customer strategy, and developing our capability. Employee-led networks are really big at IR. There's something really cool that I didn't know about until after I joined, but we have multiple employee-led networks such as the Rainbow Network, Women's Network, a multicultural network, Diversibility, Diversity and Inclusion, Mahutonga, Tagata Pasifika, and we even have pets at IR where people regularly upload pictures of their dogs. And there's some of the kind of what they called symbols that we use there. So each network is run differently and they're set up and run by employees. And through these networks, there are a number of events that are run celebrating things such as language weeks, women in leadership webinars, quizzes, as well as sharing interesting articles, TED Talks, and raising awareness of key issues and topics. Moving on to flexible working. So we know that grad and intern roles, it can be really beneficial to be kind of face-to-face and learn from people in the office. But most of our roles can be based anywhere anywhere in New Zealand, as long as it's near one of our office locations. Most people who do work full-time would usually work 3 days a week in the office and 2 at home. But as I say, we are really flexible. I personally work a 9-day fortnight, having every other Friday off, which I love. But other people purchase extra leave, work flexible hours around other commitments, work part-time or have study leave. For our performance and development, we use whanake conversations rather than performance and development plans. So whanake meaning to grow or develop, and this includes a korero or conversation between people and their leaders to drive performance and development with support and guidance. So we really focus on the future rather than the past. And part of these conversations will be mapping which capabilities you currently have and how to get to where you want to be. At IR, we have a number of secondment opportunities. So we really value growth and developing internal talent. So once you're in the door, there's so many opportunities to move into different teams or different projects. One of the big programs that we've had recently over the last few years is our business transformation to become a modern world-class revenue organization. We have the Wellness Hub, which I really enjoy personally using. So this is kind of an internal wellness platform where there's lots of different articles, activities, and discounts for kind of wellness related things. As a team recently, we did a walking challenge, and they also do things like quizzes and IQ challenges as well. Moving on to people experience surveys. So this is an optional survey that employees can fill in, and you can also choose if your manager can see the responses. So this is something that checks in with your well-being, how you're enjoying your work, and if there's any kind of support required. And the data from these surveys are used to make real changes. So the last survey focused on how included people feel, and was able to provide suggestions on how we can be more inclusive as well. So yeah, just always looking to improve. And lastly there, I just wanted to mention that we are Rainbow Tick certified. So I'm going to pass back to Sherry to quickly run through how you can work with us at IR.
Cool, thank you, Ellen. So as a graduate, you can join us either through our entry-level roles or through our graduate and intern programs. So I'll just quickly run you guys through them. So we recruit for our graduate policy advisors every year. It's a permanent role beginning in Feb, and we start the recruitment process around this time. So you will be part of the policy team, providing analysis and advice to deliver government's economic and social agenda. So the role is live. The applications are open until 5 p.m. on the 10th of June. You can either find it on the IRD Careers website, and the role is also live on Prospel. So please go and apply if you're interested in policy. Our customer service roles also provide another pathway to come and join IR. You can either join us through our customer service roles or the customer compliance roles. So as a customer compliance officer, you will be working directly with the customers, helping them understand and their obligations and entitlements. Under the same umbrella falls the Takawanga Māori role, which helps support IR in delivering considerate customer service to our Māori communities as well. So these are some of the growth opportunities or some of the entry-level roles through which you can come and join IR. There is a lot of growth opportunity from here as well. One of our mates in the analytics team, if I'm not wrong, she joined as CSO, as a customer support officer, and then interned actually in the HR team, and now she is a senior analyst at IR. So you can see how you can come in through the customer service roles as well and grow at IR. Last but not the least, we also have our analytics and business support roles through which you can come and join the organization. So now moving towards our intern and graduate programs. So at Inland Revenue, we actually do not have our own graduate program, but we do partner with various of the government agencies to bring in graduate and interns. So the first one on the list is the GovTech Talent Program. It was actually formed to deliver government services to New Zealanders. An interest in digital world is important, but we've had graduates coming in policy, legal services, customer insights, and evaluation roles. So as long as you're interested, I would say, and as long as you want to come through in any of those areas, it's a good way to actually join Inland Revenue as well. Second on the list is Ethnic Communities Graduate Program. I'm part of the first cohort of the Ethnic Communities Graduate Program. It provides a first meaningful opportunity in the public sector for skilled graduates from ethnic communities. It's an 18-month rotational program, depending on your agency, if it's rotational or not. For me, it's rotational. I was part of the tax technical team, and now I'm part of the talent and analytics team. Last but not the least is the Public Sector Finance Graduate Program. So all these three programs, which I just listed right now, are all through Department of Internal Affairs. The Public Sector Finance Program is a 3-year rotational program to develop your finance talent, and they do support you with your CPA and CA examinations as well. So it's another good sort of a pathway for people who are interested in finance and want to work with Inland Revenue. Now moving towards our interns actually. So we welcome interns from November till Feb every year for a 12-week rotational, for a 12-week program. You could either have graduated or be in your penultimate year at university. We bring majority of our interns to the TupuToa program. So TupuToa creates pathways for Māori and Pasifika students into corporate and professional sectors. This year, we're also planning on bringing in interns through MPI, a Ministry of Primary Industries Safety for Summer Internship program. You can also find all the details about the program on their website, and when we do post it, you will see it on Prospel or our careers website as well. We're also working with other partners, including MSD and Choices, who support graduates with disabilities into the public sector internship and graduate programs. So this just gives you a sort of an outlook, a brief outlook to how you can come and join Inland Revenue. It doesn't have to be through graduate programs or internships. It could be through the entry-level roles we have, and they're all live. Whenever we have such roles, we do post it on Prospel as well. So keep an eye out, and you can always apply and come work with us. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Sherry. I thought I would just touch on as well while we're here our partnership with TupuToa. So we have worked with them for the last kind of 3 years. And we're going to speak to Jordan in a moment, who interned with us through TupuToa. We have 2 TupuToa interns that have become permanent in our last round, which is really great. But this year we've kind of been reaching out to our hiring leaders to find out where we can place some interns through TupuToa this November. We haven't found all the hiring leaders yet, but I thought I'd just let you know about a few of the areas that we will be bringing interns in. Yeah. So one is in our legal space. So we'll be looking for someone who's interested in legal work, to work between our legal and our tax council office. So it's kind of a joint role. And the second kind of confirmed placement that we have is in our policy and economics team. So yeah, someone who's interested in economics would be great. But yeah, I'll stop sharing the presentation now because we have Jordan here, and they're going to talk a little bit about their time here. So I'm just going to ask them a couple of questions, and we'll do a little bit of a Q&A. So Jordan, please can you tell us a little bit about your education and background?
Now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, cool. So hey everyone, my name is Jordan Otuaso. I'm a 22-year-old Māori Samoan, born and raised in TupuToa, Wellington, and I'm currently working as an analyst within the Inland Revenue platform team. In terms of education, I did a 3-year bachelor's degree of commerce, double majoring in information systems and management at Victoria University.
Perfect. And please can you tell us a little bit about your current role and how you got there?
Yep, so I'm currently in an analyst role with the platform team, where I primarily do raw ingestion, which is basically just copying tables from our source system, which is Start, and then loading them onto our system, so the DIP or data intelligence platform. And that's for our users to create leads and draw insights from, and so on and so forth. But how I got there, so I actually never had a job prior to getting my internship at Inland Revenue. So I was kind of thrown into the deep end in terms of getting straight from learning environments like college and uni to a 9-to-5, where you have responsibilities and people relying on you. And if you don't meet those deadlines, you have a whole ton of people that you've let down. So that was quite the transition. But through the internship, I was able to secure a full-time role where I've been able to dip my feet in a few different areas. And so, for example, I've done some Scrum Mastering, done a bit of policy writing, some data analysis, and currently anything and everything to do with our platform. So data ingestion, a bit of policy writing, some data analysis, and data ingestion, testing, production fixes, and stuff you guys probably aren't interested in.
Thanks so much, Jordan. And please could you let us know what you like most about working at Inland Revenue?
Yep. So I think my answer's been the same since I got here, and that's the people. So I had and continue to have so many amazing role models to look up to. I've had a lot of them guide me in the right direction and pushed me into situations that have helped me develop and like I said before, forced me to grow. So if I could use one of those people as an example, it would be my very first boss, Finton Blake, Irish guy, banter second to none. But he hired me and ended up pushing me into different areas like Scrum Mastering, where I was forced to be a leader in a sense. And I've always been quite a shy person, and I'd prefer to stay behind the scenes. And I'm more of a you tell me what to do and it's done kind of person. Finton knew that, and so he kindly voluntold me that I'd be doing some Scrum Mastering. So it's things like that where you kind of want to be around those who will take you to greater heights in your career, and that's definitely the type of people that I work with at IR. And another huge thing to me is something Ellen touched on earlier, which is the openness and focus on diversity and making everyone feel welcome in the waka that is IR. So I have a tamoko on my left forearm, and I wasn't sure how that would fly in the office. And I asked Vincent about it on my first day. I was like, "Hey, I have a traditional Māori tat on my forearm. Do I have to cover it up?" Or and he laughed and he asked if he could see it, and then he asked me to explain it. And he said, "Don't ever feel like you have to cover that up. You wear that with pride." And I thought that was such an awesome and warm welcoming into IR. And so those would be definitely be my favorite things about working there.
Oh, thank you so much, Jordan. And just the last question here we have for you is, do you have any advice to kind of future students?
Yep. So my advice for current students would be to take any and every opportunity that's offered to you. So I know it's cliche, but it's true. Um, those uncomfortable situations are the ones where you grow the most, and that's because you're forced to. TupuToa is the perfect example in my eyes. I almost didn't apply for it. I was so scared of what might happen that I was happy to just avoid it altogether. And that seriously would have been the dumbest decision of my life. Um, I've grown so much in the year and a half that I've been working, met so many people through the actual internship program, and I realized that some of these people were in similar shoes as me. They were going into their first job just like I was. And so you end up making strong connections with all these awesome people doing a bunch of different work across the country. I was also lucky enough to meet my partner through the internship program. So if that's something that entices you, then there you go. But yeah, my advice is don't have any regrets. Take every opportunity that's thrown your way.
Great, thank you so much, Jordan. And I don't know if we have any questions. I think we might have, to be honest.
I think we've got one question. So it's from K. Anderson, and they're like, "Can a summer intern work online? I study at university in the North Island, but will live in the South Island. Can you please advise the weekly pay? Can I also continue my study while worth over the time?"
We can definitely be really flexible around kind of if someone was still studying, if they could work while they were doing that, we are pretty flexible on hours. I would say that you would get the most out of an internship if you were kind of based with the team. I think a lot of learning is kind of hands-on from people around. I think with our TupuToa interns, we are really hoping that they would be based in Wellington, as I think that's where there'll be quite a large cohort and kind of where the teams are sitting, with kind of the opportunity to fly to Auckland, maybe to do some shadowing. But yeah, we kind of want to give the best experience that we can. The weekly pay, I'm not sure exactly what that will be. We would definitely pay at least the living wage, but that's something that we would probably work, especially for the TupuToa program, with TupuToa and with our remuneration team. But the pay could be different for depending on kind of which avenue you come in. for example, you know, with the permanent role, that would be, you'd be paid as kind of like a policy advisor, like a developing policy advisor. But yeah, it really depends. Oh, I can see there's another question.
Yeah, it's regarding how do students work around accommodation with moving to Wellington? Well, I can answer that. I think because I moved up to Wellington from Dunedin because I got this graduate program. So definitely, yeah, that is one of the questions which I had in my mind. I was like, accommodation now. I think the big thing is there are a lot of Facebook group pages out there, Wellington Flooding, there are a couple more. So you can actually just post there, and actually a lot of people around that time as well in November and stuff are posting their rooms and stuff up there. So you can always just inquire and go to flat wings and stuff. So yeah.
I think we've run out of time.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, if you have any other questions, we're more than happy to answer them via email.
Lovely. Sherry, Ellen, and Jordan, lovely presentation. Thanks for coming along today.
Thanks for having
Thank you,
us.
Taylor.